Alright, budget magic time. Playing some mono white angels in standard. Now this hand's fine. Fortified village tapped. Oh, plains go. Plains for our opponent. Battlefield Forge go. Plains for our opponent. And Sylvan Advocate. Yeah, let's just Battlefield Forge and Eldrazi Displacer. Pass the turn. See if we get Gideoned. Westvale Abbey. And another Sylvan Advocate. No attacks. Well, let's Knight of the White Orchid. Get a Plains. Majoring Network. And just pass the turn for now. Opponent passes. Another Hallowed Moonlight. Alright, let's pass the turn. I really want to leave up Hallowed Moonlight for when our opponent goes for Secure the Waste. Avacyn A. Okay, there's Avacyn. Makes everything indestructible. Opponent goes to attack. Let's just take 4 here. Down to 15. Opponent does not play land. So let's cycle Hallowed Moonlight. Get a Linvala. And store up some mana. Dermoka's Command, alright. Archangel of Tithes. Well, I think the plan here is... we have a ton of powerful stuff. Probably best case is we could try to Archangel of Tithes. If they have another Dermoka's Command that's really bad for us, I guess that's fine. So let's Archangel of Tithes. Pass the turn. Hopefully they don't have a second Dermoka's Command. Alright, no Dermoka's Command yet. We would like to draw a little bit more mana. Oh, there's the Dermoka's Command. Alright. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, I guess we take it and see what happens. We really want a land. Land for Linvala would be great. Opponent passes. Knight of the White Orchid does not get us a land. Well, I guess this means we just need to Tragic Arrogance. Not great, but since we're not drawing lands, that's all we really got to do. Pass the turn. And then hope we draw lands. Nissa, Voice of Zendikar. Pumps up Sylvan Advocate. Well, I think we take the 3 down to 1. So what we want is another Linvala. Well, let's pacify Sylvan Advocate. Kill Nissa. Hope our opponent does not have the third Dermoka's Command. Otherwise, we store up mana. Opponent passes. Alright, let's store up some mana. There's the Plains. So Linvala just gains us life here. But gaining life is kind of nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want to leave up mana for Hallowed Moonlight, if we can. Let's get in for 2. Actually, let's not. That's kind of risky. Play the Plains. Play Knight of the White Orchid. Pass the turn. Alright, there's Secure, but that's why we've been leaving up Hallowed Moonlight. And there's another Plains. Alright, we are kind of getting there. I think. What's our opponent have? Evolutionary Leap. Well, let's store up some mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's attack with one knight. Let's attack with both. Attack with both knights. Opponent's gonna sack. Gets another Sylvan Advocate. Well, let's play it safe and just play a Linvala to gain some life back. Plains and pass the turn. So now we're back to 6, which makes me feel a bit better about where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we can Emiria Shepherd, get back Eldrazi Displacer, and leave up enough mana to blink something. Well, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove all the storage counters. 7 mana. Play Emiria Shepherd. Plains. Get back Eldrazi Displacer. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, let's attack. There's Avacyn. Let's see how our opponent blocks. Just kills one of our knights. Alright, that's fine. Opponent's down to 9. Yeah, pass the turn. Another Westvale Abbey. Gideon. Sure. Emblems. Opponent goes on the attack. Let's just block with Emiria Shepherd. And then blink Emiria Shepherd. Take nothing. There's Sylvan Advocate. Opponent passes. Well. 1, 2, 3. Blink Avacyn. And that does it. Sweet. Well, I had a feeling that tokens was the matchup. This is a deck we are kind of built to beat, was green-white tokens. And the Collected Company deck. So, sideboarding. Maybe go down to Pacifism for a Stasis Snare, because it's Gideon. And try it like that. Alright, this is fine-ish. Not especially powerful, but it's reasonable. Plains go. Plains for our opponent. Ooh, Tragic Arrogance is a good one. Especially if we can time it right. Forest for our opponent. And Nissa makes a token. Well, let's play our one creature, Eldrazi Displacer. Pass the turn. Plains for our opponent. And Gideon. And makes a plant. And makes a 2/2. Well, let's play a Plains. Attack Nissa. Animates Gideon. Well, let's Stasis Snare. Get rid of Gideon. We are going to need to deal with this Nissa sooner or later. Lambholt Pacifist. Makes a token. They're getting kind of close to ultimating, which is bad. I guess we can just quarantine field it. There's Dramoka's command. Gets back the Gideon. Kills. Alright. Yikes. Opponent's down to 2 cards, though, is the good news. Makes a token. Hopefully we draw land. Displacer is not a land. Well, let's pass the turn. If we had a land there, Tragic Arrogance put our opponent to a plant in the Gideon, then just deal with the Gideon with Stasis Snare and so forth. Emblems, alright. Pumps up all the tokens. Plays another Gideon. Well, we are going to need to draw this land. As much as it hurts, I think we might have to... Emblems again? Good lord. Well, our opponent's going big. Alright. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, I think this means we have to Stasis Snare. Get rid of one of the big tokens. Take a bunch. 11. Down to 9. There's a land, finally. Not as good now as it would have been. So let's... Plains. Pacify the big token. Eldrazi Displacer. Pass the turn. Declaration in Stone gets rid of our Displacer. Makes a 1/1, which is a 2/3. Well, we take a big hit. Down to 3. Well, our only real play is Tragic Arrogance. Opponent keeps the Pacified Knight, Nissa. Alright. Yeah, not drawing lands is really killing us here. If our opponent has anything, they are going to be able to kill us. That's the big problem. A morph is included in anything. Makes a plant. Yeah, Den Protector means we're dead. Alright. Well, we're on the draw, and we did not draw the land we needed for a long time. So... yeah, let's run it back. I think we're set up pretty well to win this. Alright, we get to play first. Well, not great, but we do have a Tragic Arrogance and a Pacifism combo. So, Plains go. And a Majoring Network to help get us to our Linvala. Forest for our opponent. Ooh, Displacer's good. Yeah, let's just pass the turn. Ooh, our opponent's stuck on the 1 lander. Well, that's not exactly how we wanted to win. But we'll take it. Displacer go. Our opponent's to the point of discarding. I really wanted to have this game 3 be competitive. Because in theory, this is a good matchup for us, but I wanted to see if it worked out in practice. Instead, we're just going to curve out with Angels, and our opponent is discarding the hand size, and it's pretty much over already. Well, they drew the Plains, alright. Declaration in Stone, sure. Um, yeah, let's crack Declaration Stone. Do not get a 5th land. Get in for 3. Pass the turn. Another Declaration Stone. Well, let's crack it. Another Majoring Network. So, Network, Hedron Crawler, pass the turn. Opponent passes. Store up some mana. Planes. And might as well run out this Linvala just as a 5/5. Definitely not a great Linvala, but we're so far ahead that we just want to keep attacking. Our opponent has many declarations in stone, which is actually kind of annoying because we don't have a threat. Planes. Alright, pass the turn. We're giving our opponent a lot of time to draw out of this, although they are now out of declaration in stones. Store up some mana. Store up some mana. Well, Knight of the White Orchid, not great, but at least it's something we can beat down with. And I don't even think we play the land. We have so much mana. There's our opponent's 3rd land. And Nissa makes a token. Alright, let's Hallowed Moonlight. Ugh, another Plains. Opponent attacks. We store up mana. Store up mana. Another Plains. Well, pacify Sylvan Advocate. Attack Nissa. We are going to need some angels at some point. Our opponent's out of removal. Makes a plant. Another Sylvan Advocate. Well, let's store up mana. Store up mana. Another land. Good lord. Battlefield Forge, go. We have more mana than we can ever use. We need to draw actual threats. Displacer would be very good. Would keep all their tokens in check. And we do have the Tragic Arrogance to eventually get a 1,000,000 for 1. Alright, pass the turn. Makes a token. Gets in for 2. Well, let's store up some mana. Store up some mana. Pass the turn. Come on, creatures. Dramoka's Command. Alright. Let's Stasis Snare. Hit the Sylvan Advocate. Sack the Stasis Snare. Makes a plant token. Attacks. Alright, we'll take it. Down to 13. Store up some mana. Store up some mana. Come on, big creature. Please. Please. Alright, Archangel of Ties counts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Archangel of Tithes. Finally. Play the Plains, pass the turn. Hopefully they do not have 4th Declaration in stone. That would be a blowout. Finally have a good threat in the air, though. Displacer would still be the absurdiest. Gideon. Emblems. Makes a plant. Well, store up mana. Store up mana. See what we draw. Thraben Inspector is not bad. So I think our plan here is Archangel and Knight attack Nissa. Our opponent can't block because they do not have mana. Nissa goes to 1. Oh, do we got to do it now? We can just Tragic Arrogance. It seems pretty good. Yeah, let's Tragic Arrogance. So cast Tragic Arrogance. Our opponent keeps Sylvan Advocate and Nissa. We keep Pacifism, Archangel, and Hedron Crawler. And then follow that up with Thraben Inspector. And pass the turn. Makes a plant. Another Gideon. Emblems. They might be trying to build up so they can Dramoka's command to kill our Archangel. Well, let's store up some mana. Draw a card. Hallowed Moonlight is pretty good. Good defense. So, kill Vanessa. Hit our opponent for 1. And let's just pass. Canopy Vista for our opponent. Opponent has Tragic Arrogance, eh? Okay. Well, we're down to just a Hedron Crawler. Let's store up mana. Store up mana. Cycle Hallowed Moonlight. Oh, Lord. Really? Another Plains. And another Plains. Well, Plains go. Well, we don't have many more lands left in our deck, so that's something. Third Gideon. Makes a token. Gets in for 2. Store up mana. Store up mana. There's a Myria Shepherd. That's what we were looking for. So this changes things. So 1, 2, remove 5 counters. A Myria Shepherd. Plains. Get back Archangel of Tithes. Return it to the battlefield. And just pass the turn. So as long as they don't have another Tragic Arrogance or... I guess Secure is getting kind of scary now. Although it's going to be hard for them to attack. The Emblem, do they really have the 4th Gideon? Goes on the attack. They have to pay 1 to attack. We're just going to block with Hedron Crawler. Use it to add a counter to our Majoring Network. Opponent passes. We draw Pacifism. Well, let's play a Plains, get back Stasis Snare, return it to the battlefield, get rid of the Knight token. The problem is we die to Secure the Waste. We don't have a Hallowed Moonlight in hand. Well, we die to Secure the Waste either way, so let's attack with both. This is fine, because it's not Secure the Waste. Archangel Avacyn. Stasis Snare. Get rid of Avacyn. Hit our opponent for 7. Pacifism on the token. Pass the turn. Another land for our opponent. Sigarda, host of Hurons. Well, let's store up some mana. Store up some mana. Untap. Plains. So we pacify Sigarda. And that does it! Wow! Well, it worked. We drew 1,000,000 lands, but we did take down green-white tokens, so I thought that was a good matchup, and it worked out. Maybe we got lucky. First game we won pretty easily, fair and square. Second game came down to some really awkward drawing for our opponent, but it still was super close. It was kind of, our opponent was mana screwed, but we got extremely mana flooded, so it was a battle between mana screw and mana flood.